What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 22nd day of August today, and here we are on this lovely Friday with about $113,000 as the price, 20 hours, 43 minutes left in the day. We've seen a little volatility over the past few days now. Will today prevail to the upside? Will we get some kind of confirmation or validation that the low is in? I think the chances are good, man. I think if we were to go lower, we would have done it already. But in all fairness, this day has just begun, right? We got 20 hours, 43 minutes left. Let's see how it develops. Okay, if we come back down by the end of the day, I mean, certainly if we're closing the day a little bit lower, we're probably going to see lower lows. If we are to see lower lows, where are those lows going to be? I don't know exactly where the low would be, but not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Looking at this overall, just even on a 4-hour perspective, to give it a little bit more of a magnifying glass, I guess, to look into it a little bit closer. It's very uncommon to just move through. You see, we didn't find support at the golden ratio. We showed no significance on it at all. We just blasted through. It's very uncommon to do that and not get some kind of reverberation back to the 0.5 or the golden ratio itself or the 382. Like, yes, we went to the golden ratio here, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about after you find support. Like, you don't just blast through to your extensions. I'm not saying it can't happen. Anything happens. Just statistically speaking, this is not precedented behavior. It's very unprecedented behavior, and I would be surprised if we did continue to go lower from here. But with that being said, if we were to see a lower low beyond where we've gone, as of yesterday, the 21st, the low being at 112K right on the spot. If we were to see a lower low, 108.7K might be the worst of it. If not, we could stop somewhere along the way at like 110K or in between these areas. If we're looking at these liquidation levels over the past day, past 24 hours, the shorts have piled on, but man, the longs have piled on too. We haven't really gone anywhere. People keep longing and we just keep dropping. That does worry me. And then with that, so we got 1.2 billion. The amount of longs and shorts that have been piled on are lesser than they normally are, but still a good bit. 7-day time frame here. There's a big wall of longs, and right there at 111K, just below there, all these longs get cleared out. So just throwing it out there, 111K is not that far away. It's really not that far away. To the other end of this effect, there are a ton of shorts piled on over the past week, you guys. We got. I mean, like that would liquidate about $3 billion in longs, but man, we go up to 120K. We're liquidating $10 billion of shorts, and probably more than that as we progress through. There will be more shorts piled on. I really wouldn't be surprised. Hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the low, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went lower either. We're kind of in this state of limbo until we get some confirmation one way or another. My expectation at the moment, looking at it, I would think that we're near the low, if not at the low, but let's look at the short-term time frames and see if we can divulge some more information here. So looking at the 1 hour, 1 hour right here. Oh, come on now. I mean, the RSI did bounce right off the oversold zone. That said something right there, honestly. It doesn't mean that we found the low, but it is a bit different, isn't it? Typically, you get into the oversold zone. After you rejected here, oversold. Rejected here, bounce right off of it. Rejected here, oversold. When you rejected here and you didn't get oversold, look, you went up to your overbought zone. Rejected here, oversold. I like that. I like that look right there. We are getting a nice reaction right now. Can we persevere and get through the 60? If we do, we get set up in a position where we can be overbought and continue to get overbought without getting oversold. Just like here, we continue to get oversold without getting overbought. You continue to get oversold without getting overbought. Look at the price action that takes place. If we can continue to get overbought without getting oversold, it starts with one reading, and it progresses with multiple. And as long as we're not getting oversold, if we do get overbought and then run to the oversold zone and then run overbought, that's fine. That just implies volatility, but hopefully that volatility is to the upside. We want to get deeper readings in the overboughts, and then we're getting in the oversold zone at the end of the day. So looking at the 1 hour RSI, I don't have a problem with this price action right now, but we are at a kind of make or break it area, right? Maybe a little bit higher, but even then, getting above, even getting above 114K doesn't do it. We got to get above $115,000, you guys, and stay above there probably. The stochastics, I have to admit, looking at the stochastics here, I'm pretty bullish. I would think that we do continue moving up, so that's nice to see. But it's on the 1 hour time frame, so this isn't anything too significant. This doesn't call for new all-time highs, but it does call for progress from here. So we probably do continue to move up over the coming hours of the day. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't want to give away a secret because these trade secrets, once they get given away, they become less reliable. But I'm a small enough YouTube channel, and not everybody who's subscribed to this YouTube channel watches these Bitcoin videos, so I feel comfortable enough giving it away. And this is not always the case. Again, this is a just something I've noticed. I would say with like an 80% of the time kind of likelihood, okay, but not always. But typically, from this point of the day, when we're at like that third, fourth hour of the day, going into that fifth, sixth hour, whatever direction we're heading, by the 15th hour of the day, we continue heading in that direction. Does that make sense? Let me say it another way, right? These first few hours, first 4 hours of the day, whatever direction we go, and maybe even not even the first 4 hours, maybe the first 6 hours of the day. By the time, if we're moving up in the first 6 hours and we're up, not just moved up in the first 6 hours and then by the sixth hour we move down. If we're moving up into the sixth hour, we'll continue to move up into the 15th hour and maybe even throughout the whole day. We'll wake up, for me, the sixth hour of the day here is whenever I normally go to bed, or even like the fifth or fourth. And then I'll wake up, if it's moving up into that when I'm going to bed, I'll wake up and it'll actually be higher. This sounds like superstition, but this is just something I've paid attention to and kept track of. It happens. Or if we're moving down, then the mood continue to move down. You'd wake up with a lower price. Or if we move up first, but then we move back down by the sixth hour, then we continue going down, right? It just depends on what directional heading we're taking place by the sixth hour, not before the sixth hour, if that makes sense. I don't know how to phrase that, but if we continue moving up, if the RSI, the stochastics, and the MACD are not deceiving me, if the price action is deceiving me, because looking at the price action here, and I think the price action has been tricky. If we're being fair, I think it really has been tricky. So it's very likely that the price action is deceitful. It looks like we're topping off right here, right? Like we're finding a little bit of resistance right here from a high to a low. Like we'd be finding some resistance and coming down, right? Both those wicks, it would make you think, all right, this is the stopping point. We're going lower. The price action is saying that. But if the indicators are true and the price action is lying, which typically tends to be the case actually, in moments like this especially, then we will continue to grow over the coming hours. By that sixth hour, we should be moving up higher. And if we are, I would expect by the time I make my next Bitcoin video, we're probably going to be above $115,000. And once we get above there, we haven't validated that this is the low, but damn it if it doesn't become convincing, right? $115,000 over the past 7 days on liquidations here. We look at 115K. We're deep into this short selling territory. We're clearing out $2 to $3 billion of longs, okay? And a lot of these get placed. If you guys don't know this, most Bitcoin is held by American citizens or American agencies, right? America is the top holder of Bitcoin. It's the fact, right? MicroStrategy alone, but all the Americans on top of that. So I would assume then that a lot of Americans do leverage trading. With that being said, though, a lot of this is on Binance, Bybit, and OKX, and that is those are exchanges that Americans can't use. You have to go through some hoops to do it, but maybe it's American money. I don't know. I'm trying to say that a lot of these shorts could be exposed because they might be open while America is asleep, while the Western Hemisphere is asleep. And if that's the case, we move up over that over that time frame between now and like the 15th hour. We could liquidate a lot of shorts. And being in that, again, it kind of sounds like superstitious the way that I'm talking about it. It might be a little bit of fugazi, but I'm just trying to make sense out of it in my head. I would think if we get to 115K, you guys, we're probably not really stopping until we hit 120K. And at that rate, we've definitely validated that this is the low. You best believe. I mean, if you're still bearish, right, from here, if we go to 120K and you're still bearish and think we're going to go below that, you're delusional, right? At this point, at the point of getting to 120K, we'd effectively validate that this was just a shakeout and that we're ready to go higher, right? But time will tell. And in fact, I'm actually kind of curious, what would it be if we took a high to a low here? High to a low here. I mean, yeah, 119.5K. If we close above 120K on a daily basis, which could be today, maybe not today, but maybe over the weekend, who knows? If we close above 120K on a daily basis, at that point, I think we do effectively validate this as a low. There's no questioning it at that point in time. I would start to get excited once we get above about 116.6K. And let me just look at this real quick. Let me take this fib too from, oh, that was not the high. I got so close, but I did not get high. Come on now. 118.7. Yeah, let's just keep it at 120K. I'm down with that. 120K to keep it safe. That'll validate that this is the low. But I will start to get excited that we have found the low once we're at 116.6K. For now, it's just a thought. It's just something that we're hoping for. If not, we go lower, and that's okay. We know what to expect if we do go lower. 4 hour time frame here. As far as the RSI is concerned, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. It's perfect, is it not? Look at that. It's magnificent. I love it. That you can't get a more clear signal, man. With these lower lows. Okay, so typically, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but typically this is how it works, okay? Whenever you get, especially, man, it's so perfect. Let me just tell you real quick, okay? You don't get this kind of continued divergence to form most of the time. It's a rare occurrence, okay? This is what they call double bullish divergence. Now, we can go lower in price and still form triple bullish divergence. That's the thing where you get 4 lows, right? But it takes 2 lows to make 1 divergence. So 1, 2, 3 divergences. Triple bullish divergence is the most that you get. Any past that, if we get more divergences, I'm going to be worried that we're going to drop through the roof, actually, or drop through the floor is what's going to happen. But I'm getting ahead of myself, or distracted, whatever you want to say. But looking at this here, this is beautiful. Bouncing right off the oversold zone like this is beautiful. It's perfect. It literally is a perfect signal. We took our downtrend. Okay, come on now. We took our downtrend and we're turning it into a sideways trend. And then after that, typically you turn your sideways trend into an uptrend, okay? Remember these words. Not always, but whenever you see this, it's a very clear signal of a change in momentum. And whenever things look dicey like they do now, that can be the difference. That can really be the difference, okay? Bullish divergence, the real key takeaway here is that it started here. This low in the RSI, it started here on this 4 hour candle. You see where I'm getting that from, right? It makes sense right there. It's on a closing basis, so you don't take the wick at the low, you take the closing basis. When you have bullish divergence confirmed, which we do, because what it takes to confirm it is to get a green candle. Remember, that's what I was saying. We get a green candle. I didn't say it in this video. I said it in the last video. If it was for Bitcoin or maybe it was for a different crypto, I can't remember. I think it was for Bitcoin. But whenever you get a green candle, it confirms that it's bullish divergence. And with that confirmation, you typically see the price go not just to where the divergence started, but through where the divergence started. And that divergence started at 115K. I kid you not, my friends. If we're looking at the 1 hour time frame appropriately, if we're looking at the 4 hour time frame appropriately, with the indicators and the price action involved, I guess on the 1 hour, the price action set aside. The 4 hour actually looks good on the price action, but the 1 hour, you got these wicks. It kind of looks ugly, right? If I'm right, then by the time I make this video, this next Bitcoin video, in like 12 hours or maybe 15 hours, depending, we should have prices above 115K. And with that, we're on a nonstop. You guys, today, the 22nd of August, we could be at 120K again. It could be that fast. It could be explosive, man. I'm telling you, we're about to get underway with this next phase up. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely excited the way that it looks here. I would be absolutely surprised if we went lower from here right now. I'm not saying that we can't go lower than this. I would just think we go higher first, and then if we were to go lower, we'll figure it out from there. But the MACD on a 4 hour time frame is crossing green. That's a very bullish look right there. As long as this 4 hour prevails the way that it is, and we got 30 minutes left to see how it goes. Hopefully we don't come down too much. By the time you're watching this video, you should really know it's the first 4 hour candle of the day, the 22nd here. The stochastics look good. Crossing up, as long as we close here and not too much lower, we're crossing up with both of these back into the band, out of the oversold zone. Typically being the keyword, you would go all the way to the overbought zone, which is phenomenal. That would imply, you guys, that would imply a weekend pump, okay? Weekend pump. We're going to have a gap over the weekend. That'd be great. Because then that'll really make people go short at the top. That would be very strong incentive to go short at the top, and then probably see new all-time highs next week. And then the double bullish divergence on the RSI, breaking out of the downtrend, turning into a sideways trend, ready to turn it into an uptrend here. All good things, man. All good things. If I was looking at this just with my eyeballs right now, and I was looking at the 1 hour time frame, I would be scared. I'd be shaking in my whittle boots. I'm actually not wearing boots right now, but if I had them on, I'd be shaking in them. But with everything else, I stand pretty confident. We're looking at that price action and spitting in its face and saying, I don't believe you. We're going up. We're not going down. And if I'm right, then by the time you guys watch this video, we should be moving higher. And if we're moving higher by the 6th hour, if we continue this trajectory and continue to move up, I would very much expect that we're not just at 115K, but through it probably by the time I talk about Bitcoin next. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm growing more and more confident that this is the low. Absolutely. But we need confirmation. That confirmation comes in the form of closing at first like above 116.7K, but ultimately 120K I think is that final boss. We get above 120K on a daily closing basis. Has to close above there. We validate this as a low. When we validate this as a low, it's all over, but the crying for the bears, man. We're going to be ripping and running. It's going to be fantastic. I got nothing else. Take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye.